Hello, people of YouTube. How are we doing this fine day? It's a day. It's not really like, I guess it's afternoon. But we have a very, very awesome video today. It's the Grosse Messer. It has arrived. And we're going to take our first peek together. So, I'm going to get this thing unboxed. And you guys are going to see it for the first time with me. And I'm going to give my reviews because I am very excited. Probably do something a little bit later on, like a video of me cutting some shit with it, because you know that's what swords are for. I'm using the carving knife for the unboxing as well. But set this guy down. I am assuming there's going to be 2 boxes in here. Don't know how the hell to get this thing off of here, but it's a big ass box, dude. Big ass box. Whew. As you can tell, it's like fucking Christmas for me. Boom. Get that top off. This thing is huge. I did not expect it to be this fucking big. I didn't look at the stats close enough, I guess. Maybe it's just the box, but there's probably a bunch of padding in here. Ooh, kind of stinky. This is a cold steel Grosse Messer, by the way. If anyone was wondering, and I love swords. I collect swords and knives, and I love history. And I'm gonna go a little bit into the history of this sword slash big knife, because I believe the literal translation from like medieval Europe is it translates to big knife. And before we get it out of the box, like fully out of the box, so we can take a look at it, it's also in, it's wrapped up. It comes with a sheath as well, or a scabbard, I suppose. But here we are. So this is the Grosse Messer, still in its packaging, of course. But Grosse Messer, little backstory, was, so Messer means knife. Little backstory. Messer means knife, and gross means big, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I'm no historian, but Grosse Messer is a civilian self-defense weapon, basically, because civilians were not legally allowed to carry swords back in the day. So a Grosse Messer is a big knife rather than a sword, actually, which is pretty interesting. It's a really interesting way to get around the law of not being able to carry a sword. So as you guys can, not actually, you guys can't even see this. I'm unboxing it off camera. Jesus Christ. But so this is what we got. It has the ring projection. I'm not exactly sure the technical term for that, you know. I feel like I would if I wasn't a little bit fried, but that is a-okay. I'm just tossing shit everywhere in the shed. I'm gonna have to clean it up after this, but geez, this is on there good. Get off of there. Yeah, it's pretty heavy weapon. It feels pretty heavy. I'll show you the handle, the length of it. So before we really kind of take it off and see the blade and kind of all the aspects of it, I will say first hold, there are some quite sharp edges. Like this guy in here, the way I hold it, I got big hands. My thumb kind of gets a little bit rubbed up against this inside one. So I'll have to move my hand a little bit. I'll have to put my thumb up here rather than kind of holding it like this. But I do like to practice with these. I like sharp swords. This is a sharp sword, so I'm gonna make some videos of me cutting some shit with it eventually, maybe, because also I got a commenter that suggested I smoke some Marlboro Red 100s, which actually were one of the cigarettes that I smoke or used to smoke. But when I went to Argentina, actually. But that's not the point of this video. The Grosse Messer is. So let's take a peek. It is quite a long blade indeed. And oh, Jacob Jones right there coming out. The crossguard is quite big. It is, yeah, as you can see, it comes out, you know, maybe, I don't know, 4.5 inches. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, just about, I think. But it comes out far, maybe 3.5 inches. It comes out pretty far. And I feel like if I was swinging this, I feel like it would kind of get in the way just a little bit. But we're gonna have to find out because I haven't swung this. You guys are getting the first view of this sword with me right now, actually. So I'm gonna get the scabbard right here, and I'm going to sheath it real quick, and we're gonna see how it fits. The retention, it is a nice leather scabbard. You can see leather scabbard right here. It has a metal butt end. No, that's a leather butt end, actually. I thought it was metal, but because it was so cold. Nope, it's leather at the bottom as well. But this thing is a freaking beast, and I don't actually think it's meant for lefties to use, which I am. So yeah, it's a long draw, definitely. It's a big blade. So this thing, right now, this is actually kind of exactly what I was looking for, and I know it's going to be durable. It feels sturdy. I'll have to give it a few whacks on some wood to see if the crossguard gets loose, what happens to the edge, because that's what really matters to me. I want my swords to be functional. Not necessarily that I'm going to use them, just because I like to cut shit up. Like I like to cut apples and shit like that. But I like to collect, and sometimes me and my friends will play Fruit Ninja. You know, of course, that's what you do with swords. But yeah, I'll show you kind of how it looks. That's the pommel. Yeah, nice heavy pommel to kind of balance it out. And it also has this like projection at the end, so my hand is not going to slip off, especially if somebody's trying to disarm me or something like that in warfare between nobles at the time or whatever. But yeah, this was not actually usually a war sword, of course. Like I was saying, this was usually a civilian sword, civilian knife. So big knife is the translation for this. It is actually a like I was saying, also civilian self-defense weapon. But there's also the Messer. There's another one, but Messer, don't know the translation, but it's a one-handed sword with a guard that comes down. It's almost like a D guard, but I don't think it connects usually. And that was also a civilian self-defense weapon because of its single edge. That is the key right there. In medieval and Renaissance Europe, their civilians could not carry swords, which kind of sucks because, you know, at the time there was already kind of like just overpowering nobility, and it's like, you know, you really saw the difference between the lifestyles. It's like even in hunting, like kings and nobles had crazy land and oh, excuse me, could hunt whatever they wanted to, and the I guess just lower on the hierarchy, they could hunt only small animals like birds and rabbits, which is really interesting. And a lot of the time, even for civilians at the time, this would be kind of frowned upon because it's huge, it's really big, and what do you need such a big sword for, big knife for, technically, if you're not gonna fight? Like, it is obviously self-defense, but it kind of makes one assume you were looking for a fight or something like that. So it's not really the nicest look to have a Grosse Messer on you, but yeah. But so I think I'm gonna stop it here, pause it here, and maybe I'm gonna do some cuts on some cardboard, see how the edge is. I'll pause it right here and I'll take you outside. Alrighty, so we're outside now. Got the camera set up. And I will show you guys what we're gonna do. We got some cardboard over here. We are gonna unsheath it and I'll show you. So it is a single edged sword with a clip point. So it's not really meant for thrusting. And it does have a slight curve to the, well, it's not really curved, but it tapers to the tip. So not really meant for thrusting, but I'm gonna give it a cut on this cardboard and see how it does. So as you can see, it went, that was a real light cut, almost like a snap cut, and it went almost all the way through the cardboard on that one. So as you can tell, really nice cutter. It has a lot of weight to it, especially being a two-handed sword. I want to give it a thrust, and I want to just see. Obviously, it's still a sharp sword, so it's going to go through, but let's see. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will surprise us. Can you guys still see the cardboard? Yes, you can. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I'm excited about it, but it is meant for righties, which is kind of unfortunate. It's not ambidextrous, but that's okay. Historically, most people were right-handed anyway. But it's on the outside, protecting but it's on the inside with the left hand. So yeah, not exactly how you want it, but let's see. I'm just gonna see if I can just slice the top off of this cardboard. I hope you guys saw that, but that was pretty damn cool. Yeah, it is a sharp sword for sure. Feels good in the hands when you're swinging it. Just gotta watch out for those sharp edges. That's probably the only thing right now that I could think of that bothers me with this sword. Probably because I'm just so excited about it, but let's see. I'm gonna do kind of a underhanded cut. We're gonna see how we do. Maybe I'll do, because I am kind of ambidextrous. Oh, it's falling over. I'm gonna see if I can hit it with a right-handed cut right on this corner and hit it clean through. Not quite clean, but it was pretty dang good. I'll show you the cardboard. I'm gonna grab it. That was pretty much clean through there. You see how much is left? That is a very nice sharp edge. So I'm gonna pause it again real quick, and then I'm gonna set up a little piece of wood and we're gonna check out the edge. So as you can see right there, I got a little piece of wood set up for us. And here we go. I'm gonna give it a couple of thwacks. Let's see, I wanna see how far it goes in. And I wanna see if I can get 2 cuts on it, something like that, you know, before it goes down. And then I wanna check the edge, see if the hits made it roll, chip, anything like that. We'll take a look. So, exactly right here is where it went in. Chipped off pretty nice, actually. Couldn't get another swing in though. It is quite a heavy sword. Knife, should I say. But let's try and set it up again. Fuck, it's a balancing act, guys. It's crazy. I'm gonna give it a chop like this, and we're gonna see how it does. That was very, very nice. This is the chop. I don't know if you can see it that well, but yeah, I scraped off a nice chunk. And I will reiterate, this is a nice sharp blade. And there's no glinting, no reflections, no nothing. So I'm gonna give props to Cold Steel on this one. They did good work. But I think I'm gonna end it here. This is the Cold Steel Grosse Messer. And yeah, it really does the trick. I'll tell you, if you collect swords, this is a pretty good starter option. It's in the 200 to 300 range, and it's lovely. I like it. Comes with a real nice sharp edge. So I'm gonna end it here, guys. I hope you enjoy.